I am an illustrator and a printmaker, and I started this back to basics practice for myself because I really wanted to um, come up with some fresh new ideas for some illustration work that I want to do this year. And I am doing basic drawing exercises, acting like I'm a beginner, and starting this new process like a beginner, learning to draw all over again. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for myself, and as I am walking through these steps, they tend to take on a tutorial style. So, we're a collective educational space. Folks are here sharing their, hey Gloria, folks are here sharing their own expertise, tips for beginners, those types of things. So feel free to hop on in and join us. I am looking for my reference photo. Here we go. Thank you for sharing the live, Gloria, and liking the live. All right, yeah. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Thank you for getting your heart me. All right, y'all. So this is the reference photo. We have a 3 angle approach here. So I am going to go ahead and get the sketching in. Finish refining this sketch is what I need to be saying. This one I definitely think I'm going to ink as the next level. Santana, good morning. How are you? Having your morning tea while you watch. That sounds delightful. I like that a lot. How are you doing, Santana? Oh, Santana. Remember I was telling you about that she's an illustrator, Rocky. She's located in Memphis. I told her about you. She came in, she was sick, so she hadn't been live in a long time. And she came in to the room a couple days ago, and I told her about you. So hopefully you all can connect at some point. She comes in here pretty frequently, so I'm sure you'll catch her at some point. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. Let me see, let me see. Oh, I forgot what I was doing already for a second. Be easy. Be easy. You cannot stay away from us for that long. We were talking about you last night. Not like talking about you, but saying we hadn't seen you in like 2 days. Good morning, Feral Mom. How are you? All right, I am going to end this. All right, let's see how this goes, y'all. Yesterday I was having a time with this. Mostly because I wasn't like um fully like connected and paying attention, I think, to it, which is why I was running into the issues. So now I'm just going in and refining. Um, every time I look at this image, I wondered family stuff. No, you're good. Be easy, you're good. You're good. But we did. Oh, be easy. Let me show you. And Santana, you weren't here yesterday either. I'll show you as well. Feral Mom saw some of it. So it's February, y'all. So you know that's for February. I'm starting back the night lives again. Thank you for the overreact, friend, and for getting your heart me. I started the night lives again. So the schedule is daily, literally every day at 9 a.m. Eastern, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'm trying to go late enough to catch folks, when they're like scrolling during their wind down time, but early enough. Oh, I believe it, Feral Mom. You have an early start. Um, but I'm trying to go early enough for folks like Feral Mom, who still, hello, pals, how are you over there? Um, for folks like Feral Mom who, and me, who at a certain point are like, so, in the night because we get up early. So I think the 7 yesterday felt good to me in terms of when I got off, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. I have to go to bed right this second. So let's see how it goes. So daily 9 a.m. Eastern, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. And so yesterday's in the mornings, the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday mornings, I am going to be doing my regular like artwork to produce things to generate income. And then in the evenings, I'll do the beginner sessions. So this is what I was working on yesterday. I was setting up a lino plate. Um, you're on your way to work. Of course you are. Both you and Tanya. Thank goodness, um, NYC, the MTA put the internet in the subway stations these days. So y'all, be easy. This is ACEO stuff, my friend. So yeah, y'all, yesterday I had wanted to have it ready so I would be carving yesterday, but of course I didn't get to it. So anyway, I was I had created the designs and I was outlining them, but I finished it. I didn't finish it on the live. I finished it during the day yesterday. So tomorrow, y'all, we'll be carving in the morning. I'm gonna take this one low and slow, y'all. They're super tiny. So we'll be carving in the morning. And in the evening we'll do the beginner. Pals, I get it. I totally get it. Pals, how does it look over there? Is it clear? And how is the audio? I find that the audio is super good over there on the YT. So that will be the new schedule, y'all. Let's see how it works out for us. Crafts by CJM LLC. Welcome in. I didn't get to say it before they hopped out. All right, y'all. So let's get into some of this detail here. So I'll show you, because I already started adding the detail to this one. I'll just show, this is how, audio is phenomenal. This is how basic the sketch, the initial sketches, when we're talking about identifying basic shapes. And then after is when the next stage of refining now is when I go in and add additional detail. So here I am. So another thing, y'all, that's kind of exciting is this. Once I finish with these three, that's the last of our set. The video is clear. Thanks, pals. Sometimes I think I found the right combination of things where I don't run into too much buffering over there. So let's see. Um, so we are on the last lap of the cars. So I'm going to approach this in two different ways. We already did a vote and we're doing animals next. However, I do want to at the same time take these sketches a little bit further. So I'm going to do a combination of starting from scratch with the animals and go through different animals that way, the same way we did with everything else. But then also refine taking these a step further. So we'll alternate just so that we're not doing as much as I want to practice um, each thing pretty deeply, we have been doing that, and I do want to mix it up a little bit in the mornings here. So once I finish this, we will move on to animals, and then we will also start refining some of the other ones, which will be interesting. Refining even further is what I should say. All right, now let me stop jabbering and do some work here. So if anyone has questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, or any statements. You know that I love a conversation, so feel free to drop it in the chat. Okay. Yeah. There we go. See, this is, I know something was off. I did not sketch in the luggage rack thing at the top. And here I was trying to figure out why I had made the shape like that. It's because I didn't sketch in the luggage rack. Yeah, some of these initial sketches, I have to tell you, I notice as I'm going back to them, especially the ones on the grid, I feel like there was an element of me just ignoring or being a little bit, I would even venture to say, lazy about my initial foundational like shapes, which gets us to this place where I didn't build my foundation properly, so my next step becomes a little bit more complicated. Not unachievable, but it becomes a little bit more complicated. And so that's another thing that I have to remind myself, is to slow it down and take the time right at that initial step to build the right foundation, so that my next step is a little bit easier. Life lessons, y'all. Life lessons. Wait, I have a little tiny eraser. Actually, I don't even need that. Some of this detail, this one I'm going to add value here with pen. So some of this detail is not, I'm not going to even try to address it. With this little tiny, with the sketch, I'm just going to go ahead and address it when I do the next level of refinement and add value. Some of the, like things that would be defined by the shadow and like the highlights, things like that. That stuff I will take care of. That stuff I will take care of when I'm adding value. And value, of course, we know can be added in different ways. We can add, hey Bala, how are you? Value can be added through shading, different versions of hatching, cross hatching, stippling, painting, adding color, whatever ways you want to add color. The value can be added there, and then value gets us to a place where we have additional detail and depth that's added, because the value addresses things like shadow and highlights, where the light hits. But also the thing to think of, to remember or to know, is that the value we add also contributes to the form. So that is another piece, right? So any value that we add will also help to define the form more to your liking. I don't say more accurately, because as we are all working on this stuff, we're going to develop our own style. Craig, oh, I haven't heard him in a long, Be Easy. I hear the music, but I don't hear it. Oh, this is like a live, um, this is like a live performance too. 7 days of 7 days. That's what it looks like. Be easy. I need to turn the music up a little bit so I hear it better. Oh, it seems to be quite loud. Are y'all hearing the music super loud? It is a throwback. Craig David is a throwback. Does he even have new music? Tell me if the music is too loud. Yeah, Seven has already started her foolishness, so prepare to be annoyed by her in the background. There we go. That feels better to me. Yeah, I'm looking for. I have a tiny eraser that I want to use. Hello, spectacular friend. You're just cleaning and listening. You're good. You are good, my friend. It would be helpful. Oh, there it is. I'm like, here we go. I was looking for my baby eraser. Look at that baby thing. All right, now I'm going to add the roof rack. So at least we have that going. Y'all, I was not trusting the process yesterday. It's like one of those things where yesterday was a strange day for me with the sketches. I was definitely getting, maybe was that yesterday or the day before when I was doing the boat. I was just super thrown off. I'm glad Agony Prime was in here to remind me that I can put it down and go to something else. You know it, but sometimes you need the reminder. So now again, I am just seeing some additional detail here that I'm adding, and some detail I will leave out because I will address it on the next phase of our refining when I add value. This one I think I'm going to do with ink. Boyce Watkins, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Donna, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to drop them in the chat. All right, that's our window. So, yes. The Stark Naked Truth. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. For the folks that are newer in the room and for the folks outside the room, my name is LeeAnn. I'm an illustrator and printmaker, primarily a printmaker. So I started a back to basics drawing practice for myself. Thank you for the follow, Boyce Watkins. And I'm here from an accountability perspective. Thank you for joining the Inky Crew and getting your heart me. I appreciate you. I started a back to basics drawing practice for myself. So I've been approaching drawing again like a beginner. So really, Jo, thank you for joining us and for liking the live. Blondie, good morning. Heidi, good morning. Um, and so I am here doing basic drawing exercises to hold myself accountable to doing the practice, but also, sharing the practice. So as I do the practice, I am walking through some of the steps of the things that I'm doing. So it does take on a bit of a tutorial format. However, we have lots of experienced folks in the room with us on a day-to-day basis, and so I invite questions and sharing of knowledge. Really, is a collective education space. I don't think any one person knows everything. And I think that we all have a different perspective and approach to things. And we've been able to, no matter what level of experience folks have in the room, we've been able to share with each other and support each other. So feel free to drop any questions, drop any tips, drop any guidance, anything that you think that would be helpful based on kind of what we're walking through. So what I have been doing is going through and creating initial sketches, basic sketches with basic shapes. So simple shapes building out into a basic sketch similar to this, super basic, and then going through and refining those as next step. So we're in that next step of refinement, not adding value, but just adding a little additional curves. You see how basic this is, adding some of those details in to get it to that next phase. Again, it's my back to basics practice. I'm trying to not to skip ahead. So, at this point as a beginner, I would have learned these certain things, and that's what I'm practicing. And we're sharing. Hey, TG, good morning. So, yeah, y'all, we are here. If you have questions, of course, feel free to share them. If not, you said, what's the vibe for today? Um, we're doing the old station wagon. So we're doing the basic drawing today. Oh, TG, let me show you. Um, I finally finished the. I finally finished. I finished what I was working on yesterday morning. So I now have my doors all laid out, so I can start carving. I'm excited. I'm going to do some carving today, and then tomorrow morning we'll be carving again. Black Lotus, good morning. Black Lotus was the star of the show last night. Good morning, Black Lotus. How are you? You said you would love some carving ASMR. You know what? I am planning to. I had started a daily carving video series, and I'm bringing it back since I need to get back to carving daily. Um, Now that you say that, maybe I will do one or two of those videos as ASMR. I always just feel like um dinos were so cool. Oh, Feral Mom, you know, for a second I was like, huh? They were. Everything was so cool. I was Black Black, here she goes again. Thank you for the roses. Definitely scratches. Yeah. Feral Mom, you saw me. You saw me processing it in my head like, what did I say? And then I remembered. Yeah, because she sent three of them. They were really cool. I need to pull out the I need to pull out the highlights and share it with y'all because they really are pretty to see on the screen, you know. Of course, Black Lotus, you know, I appreciate you for sending the gifts, but they are really gorgeous to look at on the screen. So, yeah, y'all. Yeah, TG, I'm going to I usually put sound, like I don't usually do it as an ASMR because I speed it up a little bit. Thank you for getting your heart me, Black Lotus. Have I made stickers on Illustrator for TikTok? Um no, you know where I've made my stickers? Well, the coffee cup was just a sketch. Sack shoe, welcome in. You are looking for tutorials? Sakshu, it's not as formal, the tutorial. You will learn something if you hang out on a regular basis. I'm here every morning. Um, but I will say this. We do go off on different kinds of conversation tangents. So it's not a step by step every day, but you will learn something, I believe. Hey Wisdom, good morning. TG, so the stickers. I made it. You can make them in Illustrator. The file, all you have to export it as an image file, like as a JPEG or a PNG. So you can always minimize the size. You can change the size of it to make it appropriate for TikTok. So yes, I actually made one of the other sticker, the tap 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 sticker is is just a page from my sketchbook with words on top that I'm pretty sure I did it in Illustrator and I just export. You just have to export it as a PNG or a JPEG and you'll need, if it depends on the size you started with, but you'll probably need to minimize the file size. Just change the file size in some kind of image program. Um, and you should be fine. So yes, you can. The answer is yes, you can make them. And if the file is too big, you just need to minimize it. Ghoul, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Wisdom, how are you, my friend? How are you this morning? Black Lotus. So the morning coffee one is a drawn font. I do I do hand lettering too. When I make my face because I actually haven't done it in a long time. So the coffee one is a Boyce Watkins. if I if I move out of the way, you see some more of the mess over there. um, this is definitely a place. It's thank you for the ice cream cone. We are this is no perfection in here. It's no perfection. It I love this. It's a perfect art room. It's just we're just doing what we're doing. We're just doing what we're doing. And TG, you can also, I don't know if you started using Photoshop yet, but you can also you can create this stuff, some stuff in Photoshop, I mean in Illustrator, and then if you export with your layers to Photoshop, then you can like add shadow to make things pop. Um you have Procreate, use Procreate. You can do it. You can, if you have Procreate, use Procreate. Always remember, file size for the computer that is 72 pixels anyway. So you can make something. It doesn't have to be a huge image file that you're using if you're using it for the stickers. Now, if you're making something that you might want to use for the TikTok stickers, if you're making something that you might want to use for something else, I would say up your file size and then just minimize. Once you do your export, just do a smaller version for TikTok. Person with a dot, and I think that's a cat picture. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. And M Caso, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Trisha T, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. Thank you for getting your heart me. Oh yeah, so TG, definitely make it print Santana. Thank you for getting your heart me, friend. So TG, definitely make your file large enough to print. So at least 300 pixels to be able to print, depending on what you're using it for. Just make it large enough to be able to mess around. Now if you're using Illustrator, listen, y'all know already. I ride for Illustrator. I mean, we already talked about Adobe as a company being problematic. We know that, but as a tool, Illustrator is phenomenal. And I am, hello IDK MSS04, how are you? And I am, I'm an older lady. So I mean, I've been using Illustrator for many years. And many years, and I love it. Not that other tools aren't just as useful, but I will always support the vector route. Let's put it that way. So TG, if that's what you're doing, you'll be good, because then you can size and resize without any issue. But yes, the answer is yes to all of that. Bala, you said, don't talk about my friend like that. I am fine wine. Oh, Trisha, I told you easy. We were talking about him. Oh wait, Gwendol Gifted Hand 50. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, people. I think. Come on in, folks. We don't bite. We're good here. IDK MSS04. I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. So y'all already know I'm co-streaming. So I'm talking to the YT and the TT at the same time. So don't be alarmed if I'm talking to somebody you don't see in the room list. All right, so we're back to the station wagon, y'all. The station wagon is here. And I am refining the profile version of the sketch. So again, we started with super basic shapes, building out the form to start to build out the object. And now we're doing the refining. Hey, Cranky Panky, good morning. All right. Yes, babe. So you all know how this works. If you have questions, if you want to chat about things, drop them in the chat. And if I miss it, be sure to drop it again if we need to talk about it. Because you know I don't mind. Hey, Em, good morning. How are you? Y'all, one thing I am very glad about is you will notice I am not wearing a hoodie today. It's not back to normal here, but it's definitely a lot warmer than it has been. Thank you, Em. Yeah, remember it's this the old boat station wagon that everyone was coming in saying, "Hey, my parents had that in whatever year that was." Boys, thank you for the share. I appreciate it. You said you're finally hitting 30 degrees. Yeah, I'm hoping that it's trending up for everyone. And listen, y'all, I am not complaining because I know that even though it was a lot colder than it usually is for me, it was super cold for other folks. So I'm good. I'm just adding a little bit of like some of the detail of the slight, like here, this is not a perfect, that's not a round shape now anymore. It's the wheel. um I don't know, inside there is called the wheel well, but I guess the top part of the wheel well there is not a perfect circle, so I'm just adjusting some of that detail right now. um some of it again I will get to when I add whatever value. I keep saying whatever. I already decided I'm going to ink this one. All right, let me do this. Let me do the door here. Y'all, I already hear. This needs to be higher. When the station wagon was a wagon. Exactly, the first SUVs. Eddie, welcome in. Boys, where are, if you don't mind sharing, whatever you're comfortable with, where are you located? Because it sounds like wherever you are, it's a lot colder than it is wherever Trisha is. Where Trisha is. Eddie, welcome, welcome, welcome. Alimo's Art, welcome in. How are you, Allison? Edith Edith Schmidt, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. IDK, let me show you the whole reference image. Can you see that? It's three different ones, right? So after I finish the detail on this one, then I'll move on to the next one. It's quite interesting. The music is so good this morning, Blondie. It's our usual it's our usual playlist. I think the you said it's just snow and corn zombies everywhere. IDK, I hope you were able to catch that. It's not, I don't have it on the screen at all times because so that you all can actually see what I'm working on. I have to keep reminding myself that I need to move. Okay, awesome. That I need to move the image so y'all can actually see it. Blondie, I think I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. I am kind of feeling the music a little. All right, y'all. Let's get into this wheel. And then I'll deal with, I'll just add a couple more details and then I'll move on to the next one. Y'all, I'm kind of excited to start the animals. Thank you for getting y'all, thank you for getting your heart me's and for the overreacts. I just always feel like these new gifts are so cute. These little, I don't know, I think they might be for some campaign, but they're cute. I keep forgetting to put my do not disturb on. Y'all, if you have um Ring and well any of those neighbor apps, yeah, some of the questions that get asked sometimes, I'm like, what is happening here? People are interesting. Wait a minute. This is not our playlist. Y'all, I'm listening to these songs and I'm like, this is not our playlist. You said things artists and gerbils say, let's get into this wheel. Lost a couple gerbils to the wheel well. Boys. They're crazy. I stay chuckling. Not to mention some of the responses to the questions. Trisha, what are you talking about? What did I say? I don't remember already. You said leave the playlist? All right, I'll leave it. Oh, for the folks that are newer in the room, the reason that I'm being prompted. IDK, thank you for the subscribe. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The reason that I have to get prompted, reminded is I lose my train of thought very frequently. And also, there is a pretty decent delay with the chat. So by the time y'all are responding to some of the things I said, my brain already went on to the next thing. But Trisha so graciously reminded me of what I said. Yes, the things that they say are wild on those on not just Ring but any of those neighbor apps. Um, it can get a little bit strange. Not a little, a lot. I am always cracking up. This one wasn't bad. That notification was just asking people to recommend where they can get pants hemmed. That's not bad. All right, I'm going to leave. I'll leave this song. I don't even know what is playing. Did I not see Maximalist? I don't see Maximalist. Blondie, you see Maximalist? I don't see Maximalist. I don't think Maximalist is here yet. Just a person, welcome in. She might have accidentally dropped in. IDK, yes, I do. I'm actually on TikTok right now. Um, with essentially the same handle on all of them. I'm on everything. Hey Rod, how are you? So feel free to follow me on the others. I'm on everything with it's either it's me LeeAnn B or hey it's me LeeAnn B. That's that is that my handle on the other things too. Summoning successful. I'll take it. I'll take it, boys. If I understand what you're saying, I'll take it. Ooh, you said you're picking up your paintings. Oh, okay. Did you just how how long did you just finish an exhibition? You said you finally caught Rod online. Oh, Bala, have a wonderful day, friend. See you next time. You said you're going to actually pay attention. Bala's like, y'all are distracting me over there. All right, yeah, back to what I was doing. I was trying to make sure I wasn't missing anything. You know, I spent a lot of time looking at the old stuff. All right, our old station wagon is getting a little bit of a detail upgrade. All right, let's see if there's anything else I want to put in at this point. I guess I could put in the door. Actually, I think I'm going to take this a little bit further up. You said shh for a minute, let her cook. No, you're good. You're good, boys. You're looking for models to collab with. Like what kind of model? Like fashion model? Oh, IDK. Uh-oh. All right. So I'm gonna have to go looking on all my stuff. I have to go looking on all my stuff now. what's the criteria to be a model, Rod? No, boys, you're good. I actually, boys, if you come back, you'll realize, if you come back in here, you'll realize I actually have no problem just running my mouth. I will be here running my mouth without drawing for sometimes for quite a while. We talk about a lot of interesting things in here, friend. Going to do special helmets for each person. Anyone can be. We just have to connect. Oh, special helmets. Y'all, did you see what Rod's saying? Feel free to sign me up, Rod. I wouldn't mind seeing myself in a helmet if that works. That represents the person. Oh, that should be interesting. Are you painting? Is it something you already started? I definitely haven't seen it. Oh, this is quite interesting. IDK, yes, I do. I am here every single morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, and I go till about 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Awesome, Rod. Thank you. Y'all, I'm saying yes to everything these days. You'll be painting them in oil. Well, for real, for sure. IDK, I am here every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm live at night sometimes too. Um, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, but I am for sure here every morning at 9. True! True, 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 true. Hello! How are you, True? We've missed you. Cat person. M. We are the LeeAnn crew. Great art lessons, conversations, nostalgia, and music every morning at 9. Thank you. Thank you. I have a little elevator speech, a little spiel to run. I'll tell you, y'all are so good for my ego. Ah, true. I'm so glad you're back. You're getting stronger again. Okay. I am glad to see you back, friend. We are glad you are back. And I am glad you're getting stronger. Okay, y'all. Let me find out. Trisha T, let me find out you wanted me to keep this. Is Trisha even still here? Yeah, she is. You wanted me to keep this going because you wanted to listen to Beyonce. All right. What did I say I was doing here? I'm bringing this up a little bit. This angle here is this is too straight. There's a slight angle here. Not the beehive. No, I'm not messing with the beehive. It's important for you to take social media breaks. I get that. You definitely have to manage your consumption. True, you know that. I talk about that all the time. IDK, I am glad to hear it. You are welcome to join. Looking forward to it. And if you are on IDK, if you are on TikTok, I'm over here too at the same time. So it's up to you which route you take, whether it's the YT or TikTok. Yeah, it's a very slight angle there, but it's definitely there. And you know, y'all know how I feel about this. Feel free to use your ruler and check if you can see it. That's not a straight line, so I have to make sure I address that. You know, the tools, I tell y'all to use the tools if you need to use the tools. Just to double check, because as you're building the muscle, as you're building the skill, using tools even after you don't. You did awesome with 42. Okay, so it ends with 42. So I will look for it. That's awesome. So any one of the any one of them you want to join on, I'm here. All right. What did I? All right, here. Put these here. And then I think that's it, y'all. I'm not going to add any more detail just yet until like the next phase of refining, which will be when I'm inking this one. So this will be yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll do all this detail in the wheel when I do the inking. But you see, we had a super basic sketch, and now we've added all curves, etc., that would get us to looking good here. And the thing that I will talk about, even though we're on grid paper here, we did not use, now officially we didn't use perspective, because if I'm a beginner, I haven't learned perspective yet. And so we literally address depth through simple shapes still. So when we get up here, when the refining happens up here, we'll start to see that the perspective still got addressed. Another interesting thing, when I was doing the initial sketches, if I don't, y'all probably don't even remember. Yeah, I'm going deep with the practice. So some of this stuff we are working on, like this refining of this sketch. I did this sketch some weeks ago. So I know some of us might not have even been part of the community then, and or I don't think you forgot it, but it was a few weeks ago when we did the initial. But one of the things that I thought was really cool to point out is that in our like in the measurement, width is equal for each one of these images. So that became an interesting component in terms of watching how the depth gets addressed through just the shapes when each one of them are the same width. So on the grid paper, the line for each width was the same. So it will be interesting. Your sister at, hey Coach Chantel, good morning. How are you? Your sister ran the Woody car into the garage because she said she was gonna drive. I can imagine people have lots of stories about these. When I was doing the initial sketches, a lot of people came into the room and said that their parents had either it was this particular one or a version of it. This one, y'all, I remembered it for a while. It's an Oldsmobile. Wait. The name of it was there. I think it was it an Oldsmobile? Yeah, this is terrible. Yes, 1971 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser. That's what it is. My memory isn't as bad as I thought. So it's a 1971 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser. But there are other versions. Boys, thank you for the overreacts. Oh, boys. Uh-oh. Thank you. Boys, does that mean you're coming back? Doesn't that mean you like it here, boys? Thank you for the overreacts. And thank you for closing that out for me. I'm going to take that to mean you kind of like it here, boys. Of course you do. And you haven't even seen the half of it yet, boys. We get going sometimes in here. No, if I say so myself, it's a pretty decent space to be in. You said the fraction was getting on your nerves. I appreciate it. However it came, I appreciate it. I appreciate you all for helping me to achieve that goal. I'm setting a new goal, boys, so you might have to close your eyes sometimes. All right, let me see which one of these cutie pies. Ooh, I like this one. Let's do this one. All right, y'all. So I am moving on to the next one. And you know the drill. I'm going to lower the opacity by erasing not erasing the, like, just taking the line weight down a little bit, because it's darker than I probably normally would have done, because as I'm talking, I'm going over the lines, subconsciously I'm going over the lines um again. And also it's easier for y'all to see the darker the lines are. I actually need to check my light here, and maybe I am lightening the lines, lowering my opacity. Coach Chantel, thank you for those stickers. I really need to. TG was talking about stickers earlier. TG, you're still here. And it reminded me that I do need to add some more stickers for y'all to use. But there are so many things that also need to get done. Y'all, my little knob is still, I'm going to use my little knob for a little bit. Megan, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Mike Lindau, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. All right. I'm taking this slow, y'all, because I don't know. I've been getting like weirded. Okay, so I'm going to start here addressing some of this. I have to keep zooming in and out so that I can see the full thing, but also the detail. The full thing, but also the detail. Oh, Uncle Mike. Look at that. What's going on, Uncle Mike? What happened? Why am I seeing Your whole thing. Why am I not seeing Uncle Mike anymore? How are you? What's been going on since you've been here? Are you still here? Now I have to remember that, Uncle Mike. Nicholas, welcome in. Thank you for joining. IDK, thank you so much for stopping in and hanging out for a while and all the follows and all that stuff. Have a fabulous rest of your day. I appreciate you. Coach Chantel, thank you for the heart me and for the Go Popular friend. All right, let us get back. Hmm. Hmm. You know what, y'all? I don't think I'm gonna start there at the front because I think I am going to run into an issue. I'm going to start over here. I was saying this earlier is that I realized that on some of these, I didn't put as much shape detail as I probably should have. And it's only the grid ones, y'all. I only did that with the grid ones. Pals, I know. The problem is actually let me see if I put it here. It's the trick. It's becoming tricky now. Let me see if that's better because I have the camera closer to the paper. Let's like the live, share the live. Let's get your daily heart me. And for you people that are standing out there, please come in. It's fun in here. What Black Lotus said. Art Walker, good morning. Make it shatter, good morning. Liz, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Y'all that are outside the room. Black Lotus said it's fun in here. Come on in, join us. All right, y'all. Let me do a little bit of reset. Thank you, pals, because I do want it to show, but so I have to figure that out. Let me. Oh, you know what? Silly. I can see it right here. What am I talking about? Um, for the folks that are newer in the room and for the folks that are outside the room, hey, Carol. My name is LeeAnn. I'm an illustrator and a printmaker, and I started a back to basics drawing practice for myself. I'm primarily an illustrator, for real, for real. I mean, primarily a printmaker. Listen to me. I mean, of course, I'm an illustrator, but primarily I'm a printmaker. So I started a back to basics drawing practice for myself for a few different reasons, and it has, of course, um, evolved into so much more. But the point is, I started it primarily so I could come up with some fresh new ideas for myself for some work that I want to do starting this year and moving forward. I've been illustrating in a very specific way for the last several years because I owned a letterpress print shop and I also have a stationery brand that is primarily letterpress printed paper goods. And so because of that, it has a very specific design aesthetic. And so I had been, I was running it commercially. So I sell wholesale, and I was not doing a lot of art exploration, art play. I wasn't doing any of that. I was just cranking out designs for the brand, because I had to have releases this, this many SKUs at this time of the year, to be able to churn things out. Some things changed. I closed the print shop down at the end of June, and had to think about next steps. One of the things that I really have always wanted to do is start some licensing of my illustration work, some potential editorial illustration, that kind of thing. So I was like, you know what, LeeAnn, let's start over. Let's go back to basics. Made the mold and broke it. Yeah, boys. Oh, thank you for the hat and mustache, Carol. I actually saw it. Oh, both of them. Thank y'all. And so I started going live. I started the practice, and then I wasn't doing it. I promised myself I would do it on a daily basis, and then I wasn't. And so it was one of those things where I was like, you know what, from an accountability perspective, if I commit to going live on a daily basis and I do this art practice, oh, Coach Chantel, thank you for the wink winks. I can't wink, y'all. That's a fail. I don't know. Whatever. So I'm here. I'm here every morning doing the practice, and I'm a yapper. I am a yapper. You all that have been in the room, even just for the day, realize that I love to talk. And so as I walked through what I was working on in the practice, things evolved in this space. More and more folks at varying levels of experience. Some folks that are not interested in drawing at all, interested in art, being artists at all. They just enjoy the process, viewing the process, the interaction in here. Join, and we share all our knowledge in terms of folks ask questions, folks feel free asking questions. I don't know everything. I certainly don't. And I always feel like folks should get varying perspectives on different things. So for other folks are sharing their outlook, their perspective on things, and sharing tips, tools, all that stuff. So that's what we're doing in here. So come in. It's a good time. Join us. Starting over is scary, and empowering. I'll tell y'all this. I mean, I'm being a little bit like philosophical and dramatic this morning, but thank you for the shares. Make it shatter. One of the things it has. So one of the things that has come. One of the things that have come up is like there's this element of ego, right? So one of the reasons that I had hesitated to share this practice um in this way was, y'all, I did not want people to think I was a beginner. And I had to figure that part out too, right? Like I didn't want people to think I didn't know what I was doing. Um so that has been an interesting trip. It has humbled me. It has all kinds of things me. um, but it has been a wonderful, wonderful experience, and I'm really glad that I started over because Liz, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I'm really glad that I started over because it has reminded me. Art Walker, you said you do almost the opposite. Yeah, it has. It has. It has humbled me. It has. Tell us more, Art Walker. Not everybody in here knows you. You have to tell us more. So it has been an awesome experience, and I didn't plan for what I'm building to be what I'm building, but this we've we've grown as a community. We are building a community. Lots of folks with a shared perspective in terms of um collective support continue to show up in the room, and you get it. You see how this works. You see how we're interacting here. And I'm learning a lot from everyone. I feel like folks are taking something away most times when they're here, whether it's from me or someone else that's sharing in the room, or multiple people that are sharing in the room. Um, so yeah, that's what's happening here, and that's how this kind of evolved. And yeah, you draw with I draw with it, not the pencil, to teach people not to be afraid to make mistakes. Yeah, Art Walker. So I mean, and I say that all the time to people, all the time. Like, we're practicing. Where this is practice. If you make a mistake, keep going. But I think what's happening for me is that it's one of those things where sometimes I don't, with the ballpoint pen. Yeah, because then you don't erase, right? Carol, you leveled up. Y'all, you know that I get that. And again, this is and I 100% agree with Art Walk. And that is, y'all that are in here, that is the thing that I keep saying, is that first, I always tell folks, if you really are starting over, no matter what it is, if you're learning a specific thing, a specific technique, a skill that you're trying to hone, um try to get your tutorial, your education, your perspective from different places, because not everyone's approach is going to be the right approach for you. One of the things that very early on, a lot of folks and we would discuss in the room is just how um, mistakes are the journey to getting better. Absolutely. Just how much um, they didn't get encouraged to pursue their artists, like their artistry, they or whatever their creative practice was, or their creative interest was. They were not encouraged. In fact, they were actively discouraged. So folks have walls up. Folks have barriers that they don't even realize that they have. So I always am reminding folks that, you know if you find someone that you resonate with, from a learning perspective, um or even if you don't, try to find that person, because now in this day and age where there are 500 million gurus teaching, you have to make sure you're finding the right person for you. So I always encourage folks to try to go out and find resources in multiple places for multiple things. And then also, like Art Walker is saying, mistakes are the journey to getting better. If you make a mistake, we're doing a practice, right? So as I was doing this, I'm sketching out like basic shapes, and I'm going through. And as you're going through, we know this, it's a muscle that's getting built. You're refining a skill. So you'll learn from the mistake, and every time you go in, you'll do it. The thing that is perfectly beautiful about this for me is that I'm in a place where even my own, I'm saying it because I know better, but I don't always do better. So, when people say, do as I say, not as I do, is one of those things where the things that I'm saying to everybody else even though I know it, I don't it I don't want to use the word trauma because it's not necessarily trauma, but my walls block even my own like active knowledge. Hey love, good morning. Thank you for joining. Don't wait for a head injury to make you start learning again. Yeah, please don't. Um boys, please don't. Don't wait for don't wait to get to that place um to start approaching. And even if you're not doing something like going back to the basics, don't don't forget the play, the practice, the use of different tools, the experimentation. Don't forget those pieces, because that's sometimes where you find that beauty of that's where you find that's kind of where you find your lane sometimes. As you're making marks, you prefer to see live what people draw instead of edited videos with 5 hours condensed into 30 seconds. So our walker, that's a good point. And this is what I've been saying sometimes, is that one, in the beginning of the live, I'm going through this whole spiel and saying keywords to get people in here. And one of the things I talk about right in the beginning is, we go through social media, all the platforms, and I know that we love to say that TikTok is like this raw, unfiltered place, but it's still a place where lots of folks, and on other platforms, where lots of folks are posting finished product, um and in 30 seconds or less, um because the attention span is short. And I think that there are lots of folks that want to approach certain things and don't realize or don't remember, because it's not always you don't realize. It's just like anything else. There are levels to this. There are steps to build to get to that final place. So for a lot of reasons, I think it's important to show the in between pieces. Sometimes not every piece of content I put out, but I post a lot of in progress videos, and talk about like the messy middle and loving the process just as much as the final product, because I do think it is important that people realize that there's a build up, there are levels, there are phases. It's not just I'm magically talented and I perfectly finished piece. That's really not how it works. And I know that intellectually we understand it, but because it's being drilled into everything that we see, and attention spans are getting shorter, um we're speeding it up. And a lot of there are so many decisions that I've made about this practice. I intentionally am doing the practice traditionally. And y'all, a lot of people think that that because I am pushing analog, it means that I don't um participate in the digital realm. Far from it, y'all. But I intentionally chose to do this particular practice traditionally, because I believe that we need to find balance, right? So I think that we need to make intentional decisions to add tactile analog to our daily practice and routines, to counter some of the time we spend on screens. The screens are not going anywhere. Hey, IDK, you're back. You said all you need is a pen and paper, not electricity. This is true. This is true. But I also the thing is that I am a evolving technology lover as well. So I'm never going to tell people not to explore the digital tools. Maybe for a light. Maybe for a light to be able to see, or You would just have to wait until the daytime. Hopefully you are in a place that gets daytime in a reasonable amount of time. Not you specifically, but anybody. But yeah, in general, I think that there's a balance. There's a balance. There's a balance. There's a place that works for you in terms between your digital and your analog world. I tell people all the time. I draw digitally all the time. I love Procreate, but y'all, I love Fresco better. I love Fresco better, and I'm not getting into any debates with people about Fresco versus Procreate. One of the reasons I prefer Adobe Fresco is because it into my production workflow, it's seamless for me. And there are vector brushes in Fresco, and because I'm a printmaker, I do letterpress printing. I do block printing, primarily liner cut right now, and screen printing, especially my letterpress and my screen printing workflows. Vector is an important part of it. So I prefer Fresco. That's the only reason I would say I would use Fresco. But again, I use the digital tools just as much as other folks. But I also value the traditional approach as well. And so um I've committed to going down this road. Yeah, make it chapter. I think that might be where I got that from too, like my love for vector. Y'all can't I'm not getting into any 669 who welcome in. Hello. I am not getting into I'm not getting into any debates with anybody about that. That's my preference and I love it and that's it. But anyway, I digress. You get the point of what I'm saying, and we're here every day, learning, growing, and all the good things. And thank you all for being here all the time. And now let me get back to the drawing, I guess. After I just ran my mouth for an extended period of time. Boys who said sunlight, stale macaroni, and craft food. Let's go! That certainly is quite a tactile a tactile experience with the stale macaroni and the glue. And the glue. Wait, how do we pronounce this? Is it Ayun? Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Okay, yeah, that's the part of your name that I will say out loud. You value non-digital because it offers a wider spectrum of people to get into art and drawing. Um, Art Walker, I think I agree with you. I know what you're saying because I've heard you say it in your room. It's one of those things like you said, you're showing people with a ballpoint pen and literally all they need is some paper and a ballpoint pen. And so the limitations aren't there in terms of having to get this kind of tool and that kind of tool and buying this kind of thing and all of that stuff. Um, you are, and no matter where they are, whatever kind of access, I think you are 100% right, because some of the statements that get made and that we make in general about this type of stuff um is with the assumption, with the luxury, with the what's the other word I with the privilege of being able to click and order something and get it quickly, or whatever, or have the money to, or whatever it is. So you are 100% the privilege. Yeah, boys, that is the word I was looking for. I was like, what's the word? It's like escaping me. The privilege, exactly. Um, no, you were good. You actually probably typed it before I said it, and this thing is so delayed, but we are on the same page. So absolutely, you are 100% correct. In terms of that piece, it's like you are right. It opens up this world to folks that sometimes the overproduced, they don't realize that they can start in that super basic place. Um, but yeah, I think the good news is, y'all, we're all on the same page. And that's the part that I love. I think that our perspectives, we're coming at things sometimes in a slightly different way, but we are fundamentally, we have some of the same opinions about um this world, and this and this life, and this access, and the act, and being able to access um these skills. Because I'm also it's like we were talking about this the other day, and I kept saying, people talk about nature versus nurture for so many things, but we're not using those statements with art so much all the time. But people are like, it's inherent. You have to be born an artist. Art is not only about drawing, it's teaching us to attempt, fail, try again, and then achieve goals. Oh yeah. It is certainly a lesson. Um, it is definitely a lesson, a life lesson kind of thing. It is definitely a life lesson kind of thing. Um, and so yeah, when I talk about, hey Ocean Summer, good morning, thank you for getting your heart me. And when I talk about the book going back to basics, right? It's like going back to basics in anything can be such a beneficial experience if you have the time, um and if you have the bandwidth to support it, or to give it, to have the bandwidth or the capacity to do it. Hey Mia, welcome in, thank you for joining us again, and thank you for getting your heart me. Thanks for the rose, Ocean Summer. Hello, Agony Prime. How are you? So yeah, thanks for getting your heart me, Agony Prime. You missed a great discussion. A stable basic foundation. Exactly. And I keep reminding folks, listen, I'm doing all of these things according to the quote unquote rules and all that stuff. But where I land within the the style I'm trying to develop is not going to be here, because I'm going to be pushing things past those basic, well, the foundation. I'm going to be pushing tools, I'm going to be using tools, I'm going to be making marks in ways that feel good to me. This is just a basis for those next things. So and it's not something that happens overnight. So you know I I remind folks that there's some tedium here. We're going to be doing, be a bender, exactly, that we're going to be doing. It's going to feel like some of the same things over and over again, but that's the rhythm that gets you to a better place. So thank you for the populars, Mia. So yeah, that is the soapbox that I will get down off right now. MT, welcome in, thank you for joining. um Somehow every single live we start talking about things that I'm like, put down the pencil. IDK, I actually am um on Pinterest, but I have not been posting lately. How about that? I need to do better at that. Agony Prime, thank you for the pops. You're using. I love these new gifts, y'all. I don't know what I think it's the how the design of them. I love those rounded, cartoonish, the cartoon style of it more. IDK, you just reminded me that I need to do better about putting that stuff up there. Thank you. I need to do better about it. It's a great conversation live stream. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, we don't always talk about art. We talk about lots of things, and I love it. I feel like, y'all, let's be clear. This, however, this live stream shows up, whether it's silly, funny, weird, nerdy, dorky, whatever words you want to use, whether we talk about art or other strange things or weird things or fun things, y'all, this is who I am. This live stream really is a reflection of me. So I'm telling you, it really is a reflection of me. Um, Leazol, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Oh, Agony Prime. Uh-oh, you just leveled up to level 10. All right. Wait. That's for you, my friend. Thank you for all the gifts. You said yours are weird too? Well, listen, I love it. Level 10. Level 10. I that's what I mean, that's one of my favorite things about myself. I want to be different, y'all. I don't want to be like everybody else. Um all right. That actually, I don't know why that particular statement reminded me. I need to create the chat. So I'm going to be adding folks to a chat, and you can feel free to extricate yourself from the chat at any point in time, even right after I add you. But if you're in the Inky crew, I am going to add you to a chat because I want to create some like an update space for us and for folks to be sharing things as well. So if it becomes too much, feel free to drop out and feel free to drop out at the beginning. I will not take offense. I drop out of group chats all the time, friends, all the time, not just on the TikTok. Um, so that should be coming in the next probably week or so. Um, I lost my train of thought. So let me go back to drawing. You be my baby. All right, so I'm adding some curves here where I didn't have curves before because I was just doing the basic shape. I'm adding some slight like angling here where again I didn't have any before because we were just doing a basic shape. So again, y'all, I remind you, if you need to use your ruler, use your ruler. Doesn't have to be this cute pink one, but you know. So we use the grid paper here, and like I had said before, interestingly, it's free. If I, again, I'm trying to, this is the hardest part of going back to basics. I'm trying to act like I don't know perspective yet. It it should be a cute pink one. Y'all, this ruler is fun. It's my favorite because I can carry it in my little metal box full of foolishness here, and it extends out. It doesn't have it's a 30 centimeter ruler. So it extends out twice, and it's pretty cool. And it also, it I can use it to measure angles because it has angle markings. It's a very handy take it with you tool that serves multi purposes and such. So if I am to just do a quick, you said approximately 3/4 of a banana. Is there a standard banana size? Boyce Watkins? Boyce, is there a standard banana size? Oh God, am I getting myself in trouble? Y'all, you know I get, where's Be Easy? I haven't seen Be Easy. Really? Now M. I am? Alright, I'm gonna, there is no answer because of ego. I'm going to back away from that. Where Be Easy should be here because Be Easy is the one that is always um it's always setting me up and I don't get it. And then Onyx Pause, welcome in. How are you? Welcome back. Be Easy is the one that gets me in trouble. And were make it chatter, were you in here the day of Pickle Rick? Oh my God, I really set myself up for that one, y'all. I'm doing well, Onyx Pods. How are you? Anyway, I'm backing away from this whole conversation. Let's I'm just going to go ahead and measure the vehicle. I don't even now. Okay, now I remember. I was trying to see. Wait, I was trying to see this slight angle here. Yeah. Onyx Pause, you're good. I there's no pressure to be here. I think you're here when you can be here. You're good. You are totally good. Alright, I didn't do too badly there, but I do not expect anyone to be here every day, y'all. That is not a requirement. Do I appreciate it? Absolutely. But I don't expect it. Alright. Y'all, I was doing with this when I was doing the initial sketches, I was doing them with such precision. Um, and now my brain it keeps like throwing me off. So I'm just touching things that I'm feeling like I know why I made the decision in the first place about it. Now that's an interesting thing here, right? So now I'm saying to myself, am I going to do the rest of these as am I just going to take the rest of these through their motions to finished? Because I feel like sometimes I'm losing the reason I made certain decisions to be in the first part of it. Anyway, I'm kind of talking things out loud that don't make sense, y'all. So you feel free to ignore me. That's the little luggage rack thing. When I do the pen, I'll deal with more detail there. Oh, Art Walker, take care. Thank you for being here as always. See you soon. Ooh, I hope that means that you'll be going live soon, or videos will be up soon. Wait, let me see. Chiquita standard banana is 7 to 8 inches long and 118 to 126 grams. What about what about other brands? Onyx Paws, how did your project turn out? You know what, Onyx Paws, I have a question for you. How old did you say you are again? Because I have my age stuff on over there. So technically, you really shouldn't have been able to join the stream. Yeah, I am like so having to remind myself to trust this process. Got it, Art Walker. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to when you're back. And I know you said you're going to do some video stuff, so I'm looking forward to that. Ooh, you love facts and science. We know you do. You like a lot of you are like a wealth of information always, Agony Prime. Drawing anatomy endlessly. I need to be in that place. Y'all, I am also kind of like scared. Um Even though we're doing animals, we're doing animals next and then people. Y'all, I'm kind of scared. I will tell you that. I do not do well with animals. So let's see how I approach that. But I'm facing the fear. So I will be here drawing animals. You said you're so here for it. We're starting with a horse, Agony Prime, because Dead Doll. I didn't see Dead Dolls today. Dead Dolls requested a horse from me. I mean, weeks ago. And I promised Dead Dolls that I would do a horse as soon as we start doing animals. You want to see my neighbors artwork? Artwork, I know what country you're in. Are you in like a rural area or a town or a like city-ish or in between? Y'all, I'm kind of cold now. I didn't put on long sleeves and I'm actually kind of cold. And I also have my fan going like a clown. Maybe I'll turn that off. Boys, tell us more about this design in the shipping box. You said you grew up in London, okay, but now in a town in Switzerland. Y'all, I ask a lot of questions about where people are and all those things. In general, I like to talk about those things in a purely selfish way. To learn more about other places as trying to figure out where my next stop will be on the location train. I mean, I'm not moving like tomorrow. It will be probably 2 years. But let me turn off this fan, y'all, because I am cold and this is stupid. Why would I have a fan on when I'm cold? Is it off? There we go. That's off. All right. Bye, Art Walker. See you next time. Hey, Miss Darlene. Good morning. Y'all, I'm sitting on my hands because I'm cold. The ideal banana bunch is 5 to 7 bananas. This is quite interesting. Who would have thunk it? So, Boyce, are you a packaging designer or do you design packaging sometimes? Because now you've unlocked a new thing to talk about that I'm actually quite obsessed with, Boyce. That's quite a bit of information there. That's a lot of having an average depth due to curvature of 4.5 inches. I'm visualize that's You said sometimes you're running away from packaging design with purpose. Is that what you're saying? Tell us why. You designed 78 packages for an industrial hairline. Wow. M. Yeah, I am like, now we have to talk about things that are not drawing, and I'm not going to be drawing because now I want to talk about packaging. So, you said it's boring? So, y'all, one of the things that I had wanted to do for that's like architecture that moves. Y'all, I wanted to do the requests are boring. I wanted to do packaging. I wanted to start doing packaging design for smaller businesses because I felt like a lot of people were creating really great products without were creating really great products without and their packaging did not reflect the quality of the product. So what I wanted to start doing because I had a print shop, because I think a lot of artists or creative smaller folks that are creating any kind of product don't realize just the vast like number of options they have. You have to be on the event horizon of genius to design packages. Studying black holes is boring too. How do I save half a penny on moving 89,000 pennies of products? Well, see, boys, you an agony prime. I think what I wasn't thinking about the practical pieces of it. And I know you do have to think about that, right? Because as a product business owner that was selling wholesale, um I've been in that place, but I wanted to because I had the access to um because I had the skill and access to the machinery, I wanted to create some like unique packaging options that probably weren't going to be practical from a financial viability perspective, but I also knew that I wasn't going to lose money. I was trying to create like this middle of making something beautiful but not making it, but still getting some, like having some profit. I didn't want to save half a penny kind of thing, you know? Anyway, the print shop is closed, but one of the things that I'm prioritizing in my, I'm redoing, like I'm refreshing the stationery business, and one of the things I am prioritizing is the packaging. I want the packaging to be part of the full experience. So I'll give an example of what I want to do, because y'all, I really am like obsessed with packaging. I'll show you. Look, look, I have all these packaging. I have all these packaging books stuff here. You know, you can't even read it. I'm sure you're familiar with these. So I go through all these packaging books, packaging design, the package design book. I have more. Where are they? Anyway, you get the point. Structural greetings. I'm like obsessed. Oh, yeah. I lost it. NASA engineers have the same books. Well, this is this is this is why I love. This is another reason that I love these streams, is that we get into these conversations and you learn about things and people and things and people that are like awesome. Grace, good morning. Thank you for getting your heart me. Um, so boys, I am going to bug you about this more. Also, I am going to bug you about this more. 78 packages. Can you share like what kinds of packages were you designing, because also I would imagine designing packaging for hair care, maybe not the design but the material that gets used, has to be interesting. The real ones are so humble about how amazing they are. Agony Prime, this is true. I think Boyce is being humble too. Boyce, are you being humble, Boyce? Or are you not here anymore? Did you disappear? Um, thanks for getting your heart me and the Go Poppy Lamps for the wink winks, Grace. Thank you for closing me out. And I'm like, closing me. Thank you. You said I'm too cute. What did I do, Trisha? You weren't even in here. Were you outside, Trisha T? For beauty salons who use the product. You said me, humble? You're like, what are you even talking about? Y'all, I have my water and I haven't been drinking it. Y'all, this is, I'm very excited about this. I mean, I'm ups I had put it to the side because I was disappointed. Um like, okay, boys, you noticed my oh, it's not there. Where's hydrate? Where's your water? Boys, you did notice my protruding drawers back there. And the first half set of those drawers are full of, like, I had a letterpress print shop. So it's not like having paper samples and all that stuff wasn't appropriate. But then I also have an entire giant 2 bins full of packaging that I have. As I get packaging, and interesting packaging, I keep them, so that I can deconstruct them, um, for ideas of how to structurally create things. Wait, did I post to the bay yet? You said you can hardly wait for animal lessons on the next episode of LeeAnn Live. If I keep going off track, Agony Prime, I might not even get there. I am going to actually. I think I'm going to finish this. I kind of want to get to the animal lessons too. Um, I am, like I said though, I am scared. I think that y'all are going to have to help me with that. Y'all, one of those y'alls being you. I posted. So Trisha, I did what you know what I posted to the bay. I did post to the bay yesterday, and I have it today. I'm posting today. I'm going to be posting. Oh, I can tell y'all. I'm going to. So Trisha is asking me about posting to to the San Francisco Bay. Because I am trying to declutter some of that stuff. I have a lot of paper that I want to get rid of, and things like. So let me move this because it's gonna get hurt in all of this moving around. Y'all, this is a very tiny room that I'm in. Let's be clear. So I have 2 boxes of these are like die cut envelope liners. What am I doing? These are die cut envelope liners that I need to get rid of these things. I used to do semi-custom note card sets, and they were used then. And then I have a whole other box full of. So those are the types of things I need to get rid of. Some of this stuff, so I'm posting them. I'm decluttering my whole home, and I'm starting in here because I want to make sure that I have space to do the things that I want to do. I had a gallon package to design, and everything in between. It was for a beauty company in Savannah. Oh, that's cool. It's not that packaging isn't fascinating. I just thrive on weird problems. No, and I get what you're saying, Boyce Watkins. At 669, thank you. I didn't see it here though. I appreciate you for sharing. I didn't see when she said bye though. She came back. Thank you. Thank you at 669. You said that's Georgia for the players at home. So, Boyce, I totally get you. And I think I mean, I know what you're saying. You're talking about it's the same problem, not problem. It's the challenge. Hey, Heather, welcome from Baltimore, and thank you for the follow. Um, um, I can't. Um, Thank you for getting your heart me, Heather, and for joining the Inky crew. Be easy, you're back. I didn't even notice that you were back. Y'all, my brain is so Boyce. I think I get what you're saying, right? What you're essentially, it's the problem of the artist in a commercial or a corporate type of setting is that, or the creative or somebody likes that likes you thrive on weird complex problems. you don't get to, it's always the boring stuff or the simple stuff or the cheapest stuff or the whatever stuff that they want to solve. Hey, Miss Darlene, thank you for getting your heart me. How are you? That they want to put out into the world for you to solve. Okay. Yeah, no, I 100% get what you're saying. Um and I also do understand you're thriving on weird problems. Um I always used to, so before I went full time with my creative work, I used to be a project manager and a solutions architect for a healthcare organization for their HR, specifically talent acquisition technology. It's a place that I had worked many years in talent acquisition and then kind of made that transition. Um, and my job was to find creative solutions and or solutions, one of my pieces of my job, and I used to thrive on weird problems. And folks used to always be like, as an artist, why would you do this kind of work? And used to tell people all the time that as creatives, like, we're problem solving. It's just that in a corporate setting, the problems are boring problems. They never wanted to use my creative ideas, y'all. Heather, Uh, Heather, I appreciate you being here to brush up on the basics while I haven't even put the any kind of drawing instrument to the paper in the last probably 45 minutes because we get off the basics drawing topics here frequently. Um, so Heather, I'll tell you this right now. You'll have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with going off the basics topic frequently. We draw and we talk. Exactly. Sometimes more talk than draw. But all right. I'm sorry, y'all. The reason that I tangents are dimensionally universal. Yes. Um and one of the reasons that I'm like discombobulated right now is because this whole conversation things brought up things for me that, like, things that I've wanted to work on, and it's making me process things in my head, which is why I keep pausing and all of that. Heather, you said you got commissioned to do a book cover and did not like what the author chose. Oh, Heather, don't get me started. Oh, Heather, don't get me started. Whoa, do not get me started. So I will start though, although I'm after two. Boys, you can send it to me in the message, in the TikTok message, or um my email is in my email is here, boys. You know, TikTok, you get in trouble for this. Oh, you did it because she's a friend and it's her book. So y'all, I've run into a lot of awesome, boys. Thank you. I've run into a lot of challenges with custom work, any kind, and commissions, um, because y'all, I very frequently do not like the choices of the person that has commissioned the work. So yeah, Heather, I know that pain. I think we all do. It's just sometimes never what we really want to do. Thank you for the wink winks, Heather. I appreciate it. Oh, the goal reset itself because I didn't reset it. All right, that's good. I don't mind. Um, but y'all, I used to do weddings. I used to do wedding stationery. For a lot of reasons I stopped, but one of them being that I just really didn't like the choices people were making. And then what I did was I moved from custom weddings to semi-custom. So that left me in a it put me in a place where I had control over the actual design. Um and only the people that were really into the design would would get the design. You know what I'm saying? So I created a certain number. I don't remember how many designs that were pleasing to me, and then people could choose. And then the only customization would be like the details, not the actual design. That was a better space for me, but I stopped that too because I just don't like. I did not like the customer base. Let's put it there. Anyway, y'all, I'm digressing from the teaching, and also we are at time. It's been 2 hours and 13 minutes. I promise you that this is a promise. I was going to promise that there will be more drawing, but I promise you that I will start out with drawing tomorrow, as I usually do, and we will go where the wind blows us, in terms of conversation, and what we learn from each other, what we get from each other, and all that kind of stuff. But there will be some drawing tomorrow. I actually might try to finish this. I'm not going to promise that we'll start the animals tomorrow because, Agony Prom, I'm going to tell you right now, I might avoid it. Heather, same here. I appreciate you and thank you for joining, and making chatter. Thank you for inviting, Heather. And I hope to see you again. No, not tonight, Trisha T. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday nights, y'all. Um, I can't handle 2 times a day every day yet. Let's see how that works out. But boys, it's been a pleasure. I am glad to have you join us here. Um, bye, Miss Darlene. I will see you in homeroom. Sorry, y'all. Y'all have to remind me when I'm yelling that I need to pull my back. You said I can throw you suggestions and you'll draw them. Okay. Agony Prime, thank you. Natty Nat, good morning. Welcome in as we are leaving. Thank you for getting your heart, me friend. Bye, be easy. Boys, you got the vibe. You fit right in. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you again soon. Y'all, as usual, you know I appreciate you hanging out with me for such an extended period of time. Y'all really hang in. Make it Shaka, you were here for a nice long time today. Um, thanks for the wink winks, Natty Nat. All right, y'all. Take care. Have a fabulous day. I will see you all tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. And maybe I will see. Thank you for the overreact. Be easy. Maybe I will see y'all in the TikTok streets. Have a fabulous day, y'all. Oh, Natty Nat, thank you. Boyce Watkins, it's like you've been here before. Boyce Watkins, it's like you've been here before. How did you know that that's actually what I do every time? Voice, now, why did you do that, Voice Watkins? Now I'm going to be like, huh? All right, bye. I gotta go, y'all. Goodbye. Let me go get something to eat. This is goodbye, y'all. Ah. YT folks, 669, who? Are you still with me? I am headed out, my friend. She said goodbye. All right, y'all. YT folks, I am headed out. Thank you so much for being here with me. And I will see you again tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern.